The marketplace on Station Kepler 7 reeked of desperation and ozone. Jack Chen moved through the crowd with practiced efficiency, his worn jacket doing little to hide the emptiness of his credit account. 3 months ago, he'd been a cargo hauler with a ship. Now he was just another broke human trying to survive in the outer colonies. He stopped at a food stall, counting the meager credits left on his wrist display, enough for maybe 2 more days of nutrition paste. The thought made his stomach turn. That's when he heard the crying. Jack turned toward the sound, his eyes landing on a livestock pen near the end of the market row. Inside, huddled together on filthy grating, were 3 figures that made his blood run cold. They were humanoid, clearly sentient, with feline ears and tails, characteristics of the Felinar species from the Andromeda sector. But these weren't proud representatives of their civilization. These were children, barely adolescents, their fur matted and eyes wide with terror. Above the pen, a holographic sign flickered. Fresh meat, Felinar stock, 500 credits. Jack's fists clenched. He'd heard rumors about this. Fringe colonies where desperate merchants traded in sentient beings, exploiting legal loopholes that classified certain exotic species as livestock. The Galactic Council's jurisdiction didn't reach this far, and local authorities looked the other way when credits changed hands. A Vraxian merchant noticed Jack's stare. Interested human? Premium quality. The one with orange fur is particularly tender. They're children, Jack interrupted, his voice flat. The Vraxian's mandibles clicked in what might have been amusement. Their inventory. 500 credits takes all 3. Otherwise, they go to the processing facility tomorrow. Jack looked at his credit display again. 473 credits. Everything he had left in the universe. Not enough. He thought about walking away. It was the smart choice. The survival choice. These weren't his people, and he had his own problems. But then one of the girls, the smallest one with silver-streaked fur, looked up at him with eyes that held a devastating mixture of hope and resignation. She'd probably watched others walk by all day. Humanity had a saying, "Not on my watch." "I have 473, Jack said. "That's my final offer." The Vraxian's eyes narrowed. "That's not..." Jack pulled off his jacket, revealing the military tattoo on his forearm, the mark of Earth's colonial marines. "I'm making it enough. You can take my credits and we both walk away. Or I can start asking questions about your trading licenses very loudly. I still have friends in the enforcement division." It was a bluff. Jack had been dishonorably discharged 2 years ago. But the Vraxian didn't know that, and clearly didn't want the attention. After a tense moment, the merchant snatched Jack's credit chip and deactivated the pen's force field. "Take them." "They're your problem now." Jack approached slowly, hands visible and open. The 3 Felinar girls pressed against the back of the pen, trembling. He knelt to their level. "My name is Jack," he said softly. "I'm not going to hurt you. Can you understand me?" The silver-furred girl nodded hesitantly. "Standard, yes, understand." "Good, I'm getting you out of here." "Can you walk?" They could, though barely. Jack led them through the station, ignoring the stairs. He had no plan, no resources, and no idea what he was going to do next. His tiny rental module barely had space for him, let alone 3 traumatized children. But humans had a particular talent. They figured things out. Over the next week, Jack sold everything he owned except his clothes and a sleeping bag. The Felinar girls, Anna, Kira, and May, he learned their names, slowly began to trust him. Anna, the eldest at roughly 14 in human years, spoke the most standard. She explained how their colony ship had been raided by pirates, their families killed or scattered. Jack used his last credits to buy them proper food, not the synthesized garbage he ate. He taught them about human customs, about Earth's history of fighting for the rights of the oppressed. At night, when they had nightmares, he stayed awake and kept watch. "Why?" Anna asked him one evening, her feline ears folded back in confusion. "Why help us? You had so little." Jack was quiet for a moment. "My grandmother used to tell me a story. During World War II, a big war on Earth, there were people who hid refugees in their homes even though it meant risking everything. When asked why, they said, 'What else could we do?' They were people. You're people, Anna. That's reason enough." Word of Jack's actions spread through the station's human community. Slowly, other humans started appearing at his door, a doctor who examined the girls for free, an engineer who offered Jack work, a teacher who volunteered to help educate them. Within a month, Jack had gathered enough support to file a formal complaint with the Galactic Council. His testimony, combined with evidence from the station, sparked an investigation that shut down the illegal trade operation on Kepler-7. Within 6 months, Jack had a new ship, crowdfunded by humans across the sector who'd heard his story. He named it the Anna's Hope. The 3 Felinar girls stayed with him, becoming his crew as they grew older. Anna showed a natural talent for navigation. Together, they began searching for other Felinar survivors, helping rebuild connections to their scattered people. Years later, when asked about that day in the marketplace, Jack always gave the same answer. I didn't save them. We saved each other. That's what humans do. We look at impossible situations and decide they're only impossible until someone does something about it. And across the galaxy, humanity's reputation grew, not as the strongest species or the smartest or the most advanced, but as the species that refused to look away when it mattered most. The species that would spend their last credit to do what was right.